Have you ever wondered the difference between a good fertilizer company and a great fertilizer company? Well, in this video, we're going to get into it. You're here with Mark Batwell at perfectgardens.com. Chad, wow, you totally took away about 6 hours of my life today. Totally got into Gaia greens and earth dust. I think you're going to love this video. Thank you so much for asking this question, brother. Please give this a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe.
These things are looking completely different, man. Even look a little lighter in green color. Like complete transformation.
Okay, so as you could see, always love my Excel spreadsheets. Basically brought in their earth dust base and their boost, and also Gaia Green's all-purpose 444 and their Power Bloom 284. Obviously, I'm doing my best to just compare their grow versus their bloom, their one parts basically. Okay, so as you can see here, what I've done is I tried to really match up. If the product is in all the products, and I lined them up just to make it easier. If there is a difference between the product, like maybe it's a chemical versus mined, meaning potassium sulfate, it could be mined and then it's refined and it's created into a chemical composition. So at this point, it becomes synthetic. Right here, this is potassium sulfate mined. It was mined, ground up, and then put into your product. It's not a chemical composition. As you can see, humic acid and other products, they're going to have different names, but the composition is going to be similar. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, you have bone meal. Guys, bone meal is just bone that has been steamed and prepared, so there's no E. coli or other issues or diseases passing onto you. So it's ground up, put into the product. Very simple. Potassium sulfate. We've talked about this lots of times. You're in PK, right? This is for flowering. The main difference, though, in these two products, though, is that Gaia Green is really not messing with their product. They're not putting in chemical-based fertilizers. They are literally just putting in rock or bone meal, kelp meal with as little adulteration to their product as possible, grinding it up. And in the next couple of videos, I'm actually going to post the conversations with the company Gaia Green. But what they're doing here and how they're building out their entire nutrient line is they are feeding the microbes, and the microbes are then feeding your plant. And they are focusing on a very healthy soil microbiology. Everything you put in your soil right here will need time to marinate in your soil. It's not something you can just put in there and see immediate results. You're going to put it in there, let it sit for a couple weeks, and then plant into it. Versus over here, this will actually be immediately available to your plants. And in the next conversations that I post with the company, he actually openly talks about it, so it's no big deal. I actually support sulfate minerals, whether it's a fertilizer and it's synthetically derived or it is mined. They're the highest quality minerals you can provide to your soils without totally damaging everything. Humic acid. Humic acid allows things to bind together. They're kind of like a central hub for things to come and hang out, and cation exchanges to happen between your minerals and your microbiology. That's why they also talk about building your humic layer, because it's like the home for everything to hang out and sit, because during the day and the night there are different pH levels because of the CO2 and oxygen being released through the root system. So that's why you need a humic layer or a humic acid to be a centralized hub for things to hang out until the plant needs it, or until the microbiology goes and gets it, whatever terminology you want to use. Azomite is minerals that were mined from Utah. They're actually not my favorite, and the mine, in my viewpoint, is depleted. It's been mined for about 45, 50 years. If I was to recommend a product and they want to switch out with it, would be Accelerate. It's a little bit better product, but still, Azomite, Earth Dust is trying. They're making a product. They think Azomite is a great product, which it used to be. But like I said, if you actually look at the product, there is uranium actually in the product. It's very interesting, because what did we used to do over there? We used to set off nuclear bombs and dump our waste over there, our nuclear waste. So it's very interesting when you look at that. Glacial rock dust is actually glaciers that were sliding down mountains, and you have those minerals that get broken up and ground down. So these two products are very similar. It's just they're in Canada. So Gaia Green is in Canada. They will be here in the United States in the next few weeks. But that's where these two are very similar. One's in ancient seabeds in Utah. The other one is glaciers that ground the sides of mountains. Basalt rock dust is volcanic rock that has tons of minerals, and it's kind of like a slow release. You have your kelp meal, which is just kelp. Alfalfa meal is a higher nitrogen content material, also helps build up your soil. You got to think about this, right? Products that help build up your humic layer. Okay, just think about it. Your humic layer is sand and it's dead decomposing things that have minerals locked up in the dead carcasses of animals. That's why you see this alfalfa is a flower. You have your insect frass. Your insect frass is bug poop. You have your fish bone meal, which is again derived from fish. You have your rock phosphate. Ended up having a really great conversation. I'll post those conversations later about these products. But their rock phosphate is a 030, and it comes from natural rock sulfate. But their mineralized phosphate is actually bat guano that they pull out from the Philippines. The issue with this, though, is that because of regulatory process, they can't call it bat guano, so they call it mineralized phosphate. Over here, they have bat guano. Both companies actually do make an effort to source quality materials. They do make an effort to have pretty decent standards and practices, although Gaia Green really goes the next step up in having the highest quality product, just to be clear on this. Then you have your feather meal, which is from poultry, chicken, stuff like that. You have your gypsum, which is calcium sulfate. So right here, obviously gypsum is a great source of calcium. Green sand is a slow release of potassium. Here's another big difference, though, between Gaia and earth dust. Earth dust uses limestone for calcium carbonate versus Gaia uses oyster shell flour for calcium carbonate. Oyster shell flour is a higher quality soil conditioner which consists of roughly around 96% calcium carbonate and many micronutrients. Obviously, the calcium carbonate is going to help regulate your pH for both situations, although, once again, when you go to the store, you're probably going to be paying more for Gaia Green, although you're going to be getting a rarer product. And what do I mean by rare? It's because you have more products that are unadulterated versus on the other side, you have products that are still good sourced. They're doing their best. As you can see, there's a lot of products that overlap, although as they go through their process, they're trying to be competitive to the marketplace and obviously buying the higher quality products over here. Most likely they have thought about this and have decided to purchase a less expensive form. Doesn't mean it's a lower quality, it just means a less expensive form. Well, yeah, it does mean a lower quality at times, and this time it does, especially when we're comparing these two companies. And at the end of your grow, when you compare terpene profiles and concentration of essential oils, I bet you anything Gaia Green is probably going to give you a better end product. One of the things I do like about earth dust is that they do provide a set of bacteria and fungi in their product as well as worm fastings and other smaller meal products. But they do provide the bacteria and the fungi versus Gaia Green, it doesn't. This is 100% meant to feed your microbiology. You're going to want to use this product along with a beneficial bacteria fungi. I'd probably recommend some recharge. If you're using well water or tap water, use drops of balance to clean your water because it's important that through this cation exchange with a healthy soil system is really how all this is going to work well. Over here, same situation. This bag is more set up for a novice grower, I would say. Doesn't really have a good understanding of what's going on, and they're putting a pretty decent amount of supplies of things in here to get you going on the right step. I would use both products. Gaia Green, you're probably going to be selling this to a more established grower. They're going to understand the amendments they're going to need or what are lacking, which is the microbiology, or helping to establish the microbiology, because a lot of people are growing in pots. They're not growing in the ground, or they're growing in the ground, but still, because of heavy fertilization, their microbiology and biodynamics is probably all over the place. If I had to grade them, I would definitely say that Gaia Green is probably a 9 or a 10, and Earth Dust is probably a 6 or a 7. And this is really being nitty-gritty, guys. They're both great companies, and I would use both products. I'm releasing 4 or 5 conversations with these companies in separate videos. Right after this, I'm going to be releasing them all at the same time. So look forward to that if you want to listen along and hear everything from their mouth. Thank you again. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great grow, everyone.